it's Ellie Diecast, and in this video we kind of have a mixed group. These are cars that we happen to pick up at a friend's here, and we'll start off with this auto hauler. The scale's a little weird on this guy. I'm gonna roll in this car we were using from the last video. You can see that an auto hauler was meant to be true 1/64 scale, and these were put out by Hot Wheels over a series of years. And this is a 1/64 scale car, and you can see if this was really one of those large tow trucks, that would be about the right size. So if you pulled up to this on the freeway, that's about how big that would be. And the auto haulers themselves, most of them aren't really worth too much. I got this one for $1. I've got a few of them. This is probably the nicest looking one, but they're neat cars. They only put them out for I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years. They've transitioned them into other series. Right now they have something kind of like an auto hauler racer series that's not really the same scale. So anyways, an auto hauler, I'll get a picture of the bottom there, and you'll see this one is this one's a 1999 series, but meant to be true 1/64 scale. Next we've got a Variate. Get it? Variate. This one kind of has a neat story. The Variate, which they have not put out a lot of different variations of the Variate. I don't even think they've put 8 variations out. It was sort of a real car. This car was a worker at Mattel had a friend, and the friend was restoring a V8. It was a V8 Corvair, if I remember the story correctly. And this was the Mattel worker's interpretation of that car. This is not what the car looked like. It was just kind of his interpretation of it. But it's got that back wheel set way back behind the back seat on that. Kind of a strange looking car. So it's not really a real car, but it's sort of meant to look like a real car. This is the Hot Fuzz, and I don't remember. This came out with it was, I think I want to say a 5-pack, and I don't remember what the 5-pack name was, but the Variate. Next, Ford Delivery, 32 Ford Delivery. This one is from the Sideshow series. Let me get my light there. That's not very good. There we go. It's from the Sideshow series. This was 2002. It was a 5-pack. This is really one of my favorite 5-packs. I don't have it. I have all the cars, but it really had these cool tampos on it. This is El Segundo there. Really cool tampos on those. Yeah, it's a weird 5-pack. You wouldn't think that one was a big seller, but I like that. 32 Ford Delivery. Next we got the Pop Cycle. This guy, and had I been with it, I think the next video we're going to see is going to have another one of these. I just couldn't find it. We got a couple of them in here. This one, a little bit rarer. I don't see it too much because the customizers always jack the bicycle out of this guy. You can see that little bicycle in there. And what's really cool about that little bicycle is it pretty much just pops right out. So for the customizers, they always take this guy apart and take his bicycle. But it's supposed to be that you ride the bicycle. I'm not sure really why you would ride that bicycle with that engine on it. That seems very unsafe. This one's from 2000. It's not really worth anything. Next up, we've got a Hammer Coupe. Anatomical series. The only reason this guy made the video is because he is weird. Look at this tampo on it. It looks like something out of like Book of the Dead. So I'm not sure what the story is with these. These anatomicals show up quite a bit, so I guess they were popular, or the year when it came out was popular. This is 2004, and I think the anatomicals lasted for 2 years. I don't know if it was 2003 or 2005 was the other year, but weird ones, weirdies. The Hammer Coupe. It's a weird looking car. Next, Talbot Lago. This was from the Pearl series. It was it Pearl or Pearl Driver? Pearl, I think it was Pearl series. From, somewhere in the mid-90s. I'm going to say 1996, I'm guessing. A little story about the Talbot Lago. I showed one of these before, and I didn't know anything about the car. I wasn't even sure if it was a real car. The Talbot Lago is a real car. That's the original company was formed by two guys. Last name Talbot, last name Lago. And this one is either a T150CS or a T150SS, and I don't know which. They both looked about the same. But from the front, a lot of times on eBay, this shows up as kind of like an insect car. And because it's got those strange big eye doors on it. Yeah, the Talbot Lagos went out of business, though. After, I want to say before World War II. I think, yeah, 1930s was when these came out. So they were supposed to compete with Cadillac, but kind of died a death and never showed back up again. Fandango, this one's part of the Sega game series. This one is Space Channel 5 for the PlayStation 2 people out there. And for those that have been listening very closely and take notes of trivia of LE Diecast, I actually make video games, and so this one is one of my favorites, the Sega game series. Came out in 2003. There was also the other ones in this series. There's a Cougar, that's Jet Set Radio. And there was a GT Racer that's Monkey Ball. There was a Phaeton that's House of the Dead, which is a very cool one, and that one actually is hard to find. And then there was an Esprit that is Shinobi, Lotus Esprit that's Shinobi. And those were the other cars in this series. I have all of them but the House of the Dead. So, yep, Fandango. Cool one. All right, next. Scooby Dooby Doo. Where are you? There you go. Some Scooby-Doos. And all racing champions, not Hot Wheels, not Matchbox, all racing champions. We'll start with these two. They came in the same 5-pack, and I think they came in singles too. Not rare. These were one of the more popular ones. The green Mustang, blue Dodge Ram truck. They're from the same series. This is Daphne's car. I never thought Daphne was really that edgy that she would drive a Mustang. I kind of picked her more for like a BMW girl. And Shaggy, I don't think I would have picked him as a pickup truck kind of guy. I think he'd be more of like maybe a van or something, I think. Something where Shaggy could hang out in the back and do what Shaggy does. But that's what they picked for him. The other one here, this one, is from Scooby Doo. Was it a New Do? Scooby Doo, a New Do, and then Scooby Doo 2. I think that's it. The first movie was Scooby Doo, a New Do, and then Scooby Doo 2. And Scooby Doo 2, this one, that's Sarah Michelle Gellar. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer turned into Daphne. And this is her car. And I don't pick Daphne for this type of car either. I'm pretty sure she wouldn't be driving some sort of custom deal with those wheels on it. I don't think that's her thing. So, anyways, cool cars. I like these. Next up, we've got a Lamborghini Countach. It's got the Ultra Hot wheels on it. It's white LP 500S Countach, and it's got the cool Countach tampos. This one's a little scratched up. The other side's probably a little bit better. And this one was in the card. It'd be worth some money. This is, I think, I want to say the only casting they made of the LP 500. I don't remember. But in the card, it goes for quite a bit of money. This one's not going to be worth much in this condition. But the scissor doors on the Lamborghini. Do you know why it had scissor doors? I didn't know this. I stumbled across this the other day. It had scissor doors because the car is so wide. See how wide that car is compared to another car? the car was so wide that if it had doors that are really long doors, those are, you know, a third longer than a normal door on a car, they'd never be able to function in a normal parking lot. You'd never be able to get out of your car. So the scissor doors were one of the innovations they came up with. And if you're not sure what scissor doors are, it means the door comes up this way. The hinges are right there, and it goes up, kind of like wings. But you'd never function in a parking lot. So, did you know, a little bit of trivia about this, that this car is a real car, but there was only one made. It was a prototype, the LP500S. It was a prototype car, but it got wrecked in a crash test. And I think, as the story goes, it was purposely wrecked so that they could test how it would do in crashes. And the prototype had kind of reached the end of its service. But they were crash testing the design. The original LP500 didn't survive. Also, and I think I have a picture of it, that particular little dent in the top, which Hot Wheels put in there on purpose, that is not in the original car. So it's almost an LP500. We've seen a lot of these Lamborghinis come through, so I've gotten edumacated very quickly. And last but not least is a car that we see a lot of, and that's the Unimog, going from a Lamborghini to an Unimog. And this particular Unimog is the red, kind of ruby red version. It's got the tampo there on the front. This one's in real good shape. The problem with the Unimog tends to be its wheels really get bent when you get the used ones, because it is high up. And those wheels get bent. You can see the whole Countach here isn't as high as the wheelbase on the Unimog. So there you go. So we'll leave on the Unimog. So thanks for watching, everybody. And again, visit us on the Facebook page if you haven't. We have all sorts of fun on the Facebook page, and that's actually where I learn a lot of these things that end up in the video. The Facebook page is LE Diecast, and just join. Go there, subscribe, and you'll get all of our messages sent right to you. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Lots of people subscribe, and then you'll know when our contests are, because we've got another contest coming up real soon that we'll be announcing here in another future video. So thanks for watching. I'll see everybody later.